Hey everybody, welcome back to J&D Homestead. Today we are actually in my pantry slash laundry room area. Our house is a house of additions, and so we don't have a ton of like strategically placed storage. And so our pantry is not super efficient. It has a lot of shelves, you would think, but then there's just like a ton of wasted space. There's stairs to the basement under here, and so it's just not super efficient. So once a year I try to get in here and get this cleaned out to make sure there's no ants or mice, to get it organized. And so for me, today is the perfect day to do that. We're going to be getting a bulk azure order in the mail, or shipped in at the beginning of next week or next month. And also we're getting ready to start our new school year. So I'm going to get in here, try to clean it out, get it organized so I can see if I need to buy anything else for the new school year. But also to try to figure out what actually I have before I finalize my azure order. So that's what we're going to do today. Okay, so I got the first shelf cleared off. So, like what I was saying, it's a big room, square footage wise, but it's impractical because this is a super large shelf. But once you start putting stuff on it, it's really hard to reach the back. And so, plus this window, this is a east, sunrise is in the east, that's in the west. This is a west facing window. So truthfully, this room is not super ideal for long-term storage because it gets so stinking hot in here, especially in the summer. So we do a lot of our jars and stuff downstairs, and this is more for like our kitchen use storage. So we're gonna keep going. We've played with like different shelf units and stuff in here, and we just haven't quite figured out a good system. So we just do what we can. I don't know if your kids have gone through a season where when they're learning their letters, they just want to write their letters on everything. But I think every single one of my kids have gone through that season where they're like, oh, I can write my letters. So they write it everywhere, including the wall. So we're going to get that cleaned up too, and then keep working. So we got this side done. Eventually, I'm probably going to either completely redo this room or just repaint because there's a lot of stains just from where this is not great building material. I think this is actually just like painted particle board. So it's kind of not super great. But this is like a storage thing underneath it. We don't really use it because of varmints, just trying not to get mice in it and stuff. But this is where we keep all of our extra schooling and crafting stuff. So I will need to go through all of this and just reorganize it, figure out what I have for the school year as far as like extra little workbooks to reinforce areas that the kids are struggling in, see if there's anything that we haven't used that I could get rid of. Or like, okay, I'm out of colored pencils or markers or glue sticks or whatever I need to pick up for the school year. So I'm going to actually not work in this right now because I'm trying to get our food stuff organized to figure out what I have. So I stopped buying like multiple jars of cumin because I was going through the pantry looking for paprika the other day, and now I have like 4 jars of cumin, which is awesome because we love tacos, but it's a lot of cumin. Okay, side one is cleaned out and wiped off. I'm gonna mop the floor when I'm done with side two. Here we go. One thing I'm trying to do when I clean out this time is, over the last couple of months, I've been blessed with a ton of extra mason jars or ball jars to can with. And so in the past, I didn't have a ton of extra. So I would use old glass jars for storing different things I buy that don't necessarily have really good resealable containers. But since I've been blessed with all of those, I'm going to go ahead and start purging and decluttering because I have lots of clutter. Some things like these old salsa jars that I don't need anymore. All right, so this side is emptied and swept temporarily or preliminarily and wiped down. Now, granted, the rest of my house, not so clean and tidy. So now we get to undo everything that we just did. Woo. You ever get to like the middle of a project and you're like, okay, I can be done now. Yeah, no, can't be done. All right, so having kind of looked over everything that I've pulled out and thinking through what I have pulled out, I'm going to try to start in my mind as I'm putting things away, organizing things into like bulk herbs, teas, things that I'm going to bake with more immediately, canned goods. Just try to start organizing it so I know where stuff is. Because during the 2 months that Tim took off to stay home, there were 2 months this summer that he was able to take off in between contracts. We went through a lot of my bulk pantry storage. And so I've started slowly purchasing extra things here and there to start restocking our pantry. But I haven't done a very good job of like putting them away. Because, you know, over a year, I try to organize my pantry once or twice a year. Over the course of 6 months to a year, you know, things get a little messy as kids help me put things away and stuff. So trying to organize that. Have you ever walked into a room that's empty and then like it's echoey? Like it's echoey in here. It's kind of funny. But anyway, I'm going to try to organize stuff as I put it away. So like on this side, I like to do all of my bulk herbs and things that I don't pull in and out of because I have an herb cabinet in my kitchen. So I think that's where I'm going to start with, is all of the herbs and spices that I have that are extra, and get those put on that. Okay, so we have got, I think, most of my bulk herbs, and then all of my extra things that are like extra ketchup, mustard, stuff like that I store in the fridge, put in here. But we have a long way to go. Here we go. I think I organize my pantry different every time I organize it. So this time, I think what I'm going to do is put all of my beans and grains and things together, and then like more of my ingredient stuff, like the coconut cream and things like that together. I don't know, I'll figure it out. I'll probably rearrange it like 3 times, but we'll try to figure it out. So something I've caught myself over the last couple of years doing is, we don't use a lot of disposable plates or silverware. Even my friends laugh at me because we don't use a ton of napkins and paper towels. But periodically I'll need to pick up some forks or spoons or something. And we'll use them for like birthday parties, just so I don't have to do a ton of dishes. But what I find is I'll get in here to clean and I find like 3 boxes of spoons and 2 boxes of forks, but none of them are full and none of them are empty. So it has seen way better days. It has been through probably 3 years now. But I'll go through and just consolidate all the spoons, forks, and knives. I'm going to put the forks in there. But you can see we use a lot more forks than we do spoons and knives. So we'll have to do like a soup party and use up a bunch of my spoons. And now these can go to the recycle. On this side is my more like canning, preservation, bulk herbs, bulk condiments and such, cooking stuff, etc. Down here is like bulk vinegars and sodas, my big stock pots that won't fit in my cupboards, and then also like snacky prepared foods that I don't really have any place in the kitchen. And then I emptied this crate back here for all of our extra plates and disposable things as well. This section here I have not tackled yet. Most of what is left in the kitchen is from that section. It's like old whole school books, stuff from this year that I need to go through to see if I want to keep any of it or recycle it, or what I need to do on that side. And then this side is teas, seeds, fruits, peanut butter, popcorn, more dinner stuff, and baking stuff as well. I have more like of bulk stuff over here. I have really started to like buying extremely large quantities of things. The problem is with DJ really starting to get into baking, I don't really want him lugging 5-gallon buckets worth of flours or sugars or things like that. So what I've done is I have like my 5-gallon buckets for the mass majority of it. And then I will put smaller quantities that are a little easier for him to manage, or for one of the kids that are helping me in the kitchen manage, in like a pickle jar or a mason jar, just so that they can go and grab it, but they're not lugging like, 25, 50-pound bags worth of food. So overall, it's still a mess in here. Like, I still have some flowers. I still have a whole bunch of schoolwork stuff to sort through. Plus, my kitchen's just a mess because unlike what I normally do, I didn't clean the kitchen before I started. So I still need to pick up from like breakfast and stuff, but that's, for later. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with where things are at. I'm going to finish going through some of the schoolwork stuff to get that kind of taken care of, and then hopefully tackle the rest of the cupboard here in a little bit. But I'm going to take a break, sit down, grab a drink, and probably make some lunch. Actually, it's 12:30 and I haven't had any lunch today. So gonna get that going, and then we'll see how I'm feeling after I take a moment of rest. Lots of glue and lots of paint, so it would not make sense for me to go out and buy glue and paint this year. So glad I didn't buy glue when I was at Sam's the other day. Okay, so I pretty well have this organized. I do have some odds and ends in the kitchen that I need to kind of sort through and figure out what I'm going to keep and stuff. And then I'm also going to go through their stack of coloring books that they have in the kitchen to see. We've used them a lot this year, this summer. Go through them, make sure that they have plenty of pages left to color. If not, we'll go ahead and scrap them, because I do have some that'll kind of fill in the gaps. But that's where we're headed next. Overall, I am very pleased with where this is at. Like I said, I still have stuff to add to it, but I'm super thrilled now to finalize the cleanup. Okay, so my dining room is pretty well put back together. My kitchen is almost done. I have a few odds and ends left in the laundry room to kind of figure out what I want to do with, what I want to keep or get rid of. But overall, I've tackled what I set out to tackle today. So thank you guys so much for joining me today on this tidy up the pantry project. If you've got a project that you got to get done, I hope that this inspires you a little bit to deal with whatever the mess is. Hope you guys have an awesome day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.